Week 16, it's crunch time. Who's going to get blessed for the holidays, get in the playoffs? Who's getting ready for the spring? We got all your news, all your recaps, all your man crushes. Hit that subscribe button. It's nickel and dime. Week 16, man. Not much time is left for these teams fighting for these playoff spots.
Nah. It's the witching hour. I mean, we can use it a million different ways, but time is ending for a lot of teams in the league, and it's time to put up or shut up, man. It's game time. So
one of those teams, did they cut their time short? Raiders lose on Thursday night.
I did not expect them to come out there and put that on tape, Drew. I mean, what were you thinking going into that game? I mean, like, maybe a hard-fought game, but they were going to come out on top, you know?
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, the chances probably went down. I hate to say it, but we had a Marcus Mariota sighting, and he did his best. He did his best, but that defense let him down.
Yeah, he did, and just shout to let me pat myself on the back, Drew. I know I said that Herbert usually throws for 300. I was just a week late on that. Threw for 300 this week, not the week before. But talking about Mariota, man, I love your point about that. What he did, he came out there and Drew. He was peak Mariota. He was exactly what you want him to do.
He rolled the clock back, man.
Exactly, rushing with doing the legwork. Accurate on the throw, Drew. That deep pass was a dot to the receiver for the touchdown. He did throw a pick. We got to admit that he threw a pick. So you saw everything you wanted to see. But honestly, I like the dynamic that he brings to that offense, Drew.
It was nice, right? Man. On the flip side of that, did that seal the deal for Offensive Rookie of the Year for Herbert?
Oh, good question. Offensive Rookie of the Year, I think so. Because he still got another.
I mean, it's not like Jefferson threw the same kind of caliber game out of this week. And so I think that sealed the deal.
And just shout to the Bucs. They shut him down a couple of weeks ago, so that stunted his production a little bit as well. But Drew, Derek Carr, do you think the Derek Carr injury out 10 to 14 days apparently? Do you think the Raiders actually present a better dynamic offense with Mariota in there as opposed to Carr? Or do you think Carr is actually better for that situation?
I think Carr was rolling pretty good with him, man. I think the key to that offense, no matter who's handing the ball to him, is Josh Jacobs. And if he's producing, then that's opening up some lanes for Renfro and Ruggs. And I think Mariota did a very good job as a backup when he was needed, but I think that's still Derek Carr. Ooh, sorry, don't want to put him in that category. That's still Derek Carr's team. I feel like.
And I loved your point, Drew, about their defense because honestly, they did let them down. And just to get a little bit more specific to your point, Drew, 25th pass defense in yards allowed, and 26th in rush defensive yards allowed. So they really messed up against a team they couldn't afford to mess up against down the stretch, mucking it up, man.
I mean, that old saying, defense wins championships. Well, you still definitely need it to get into the playoffs.
I mean, they don't keep saying that because it's not true. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not a cliche because it ain't true. You know what I mean? So get that D right, and especially this time of year, man. We cannot overstate the importance of that. But Drew, like and subscribe to the channel if you've heard this before. But Deshaun Watson plays great, and the team lets him down. Houston, I mean,
I thought they had it, man. There was many a time where I was like, the Texans might win this game.
Yeah. And they do that every week. I mean, talking about Deshaun Watson, 373 yards, Drew, 2 touchdowns. He took 5 sacks. The guy still took 5 sacks, right? The Colts
he was scrambling the whole day.
He was.
The whole day he was running.
Right. And it's so crazy, man. But like, I know, like, just kind of going off on a very small tangent here, but if the Bucks, for my team, for my own personal interest, if they wanted to leverage a couple of first round picks to Houston to try to pry Deshaun Watson away, I'll be fine. Can you imagine Deshaun Watson in this offense?
No, I don't want.
That's
to.
What I'm saying. Like, I would honestly, I would give up the farm if they're in a giving mood. Drew, it's the holiday season out here. Let me get those picks.
No.
And let's get Deshaun Watson with Tom Brady. I don't care, man. Let's do it. Anyway, I just love him.
Give him a year. He can learn under Brady.
I just love it, man. I love it. But, Drew, it looks like John Taylor has finally taken over the reins of the running back room. Finally.
I'd say
16 rushes to 5.
83 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, 16 rushes to 5. Drew, and my last point about Houston before you kind of give your take on things is I got to charge you a little bit here. It's your man, T.Y. Hilton. The big play of the game with the bomb. He didn't score, Drew. He didn't score. But I just know you love that part about it.
Oh, God. I hate him so much.
I know.
Never drafted him again. I hope he's out of the league. I hate him. Hate him so much.
Yeah.
But no, like you said, man, Taylor is taking over. I think they definitely need him rolling on every cylinder possible if they're going to make a run here in the playoffs. Phillip did okay. Mm-hmm. Not great. He did okay, and that's all you can ask for him. He made the throws he needed to make. He took a couple chances here and there, but nothing too crazy.
Right.
But I expected a little bit more from the Colts offense with this very porous Texans defense, but they did enough to get by. And they needed to keep pace because the Titans won again. They put on a much better offensive performance. Ryan Tannehill running all over the place. Yeah. It was crazy.
Yeah, and our guy Corey Davis still doing, like, making plays, finally doing, and him and
Did you have a personal conversation with him at the beginning of the year? Or, like, do you send a motivational speaker to his house? What happened?
All I can say is that I hope he is one of our viewers, like, maybe even if he just follows the channel in any way, shape, or form and heard us talking shit to him. Congratulations, Corey. You're welcome. Okay. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
I love to see, because I really liked him coming out of the draft, Drew. I loved him coming out of the draft, and it's just good to see him produce, man. It's just good to see him produce. So,
yeah, that whole offense was fantastic.
Right.
Henry, another 147 yards and a touchdown. Tannehill had 3 TDs himself.
3 TDs from.
They look good.
3 TDs from Tannehill. Drew, we have to talk about it because it seems like it's almost weekly. But you saw Derrick Henry with yet another stiff arm from hell.
Oh God! He's just out here just disrespecting.
And
folks.
Now it's like he's just adding people to the list. It's almost like the Undertaker. Like you just another notch on his belt at this point. You know what I mean? It's like don't be. It's almost like a LeBron chase down. Is it not? Like it's a whole highlight reel of LeBron chase downs, and now it's gonna be a whole highlight reel.
I love it, man. I would never want any of my favorites to be on the end of it. You know what I mean? But if I was a Titans fan, I'd have that poster in my room for sure.
Yeah, that seems like a marketing idea, and you heard it here first. So you heard it here first. I love it, man. But
let's get some of them royalties.
That was a great game. And to be honest, like while that game was going on, while the Titans game was going on, the Bucks were also playing, and I was with my.
How do you feel about that
man?
One, buddy?
Look, I was at my to a peek behind the kimono here. Your man was at his in-laws' house and hanging out in a socially distant setting. They are very
trying to keep a straight head on that one.
It was a little tense. I'm telling you, it was a little tense, man. Look, because they were in the other room enjoying the Titans game, cheers all around. You know what I mean? And like I'm in the other room, I'm in the kitchen on a tiny TV. And it is.
Are they Titans fans?
They're Titans fans. Yes, they are Titans fans. Big Titans fans.
Oh, because they were Houston Oilers fans?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. So,
right.
But the crazy thing is like it's.
Just so you folks know, I'm sure you can deduce from watching and listening. When Sean watches a football game, cool heads isn't what comes to mind.
No.
So.
I mean, but like,
how did you play that one
look,
off?
Man, it was quiet. I just had to be quiet. Like I've in my old age, I've become very good at just shutting the hell up and just keeping it all inside. But
just internalize
right. And then it started to come alive during halftime, man. It's just, Drew, it's another slow start. It's just another slow start for the Bucks. They're not.
But luckily, it was the Falcons.
Well, true. It's very true. Another team that, a little caveat, another team that apparently Tom Brady has never lost to. But look, they're not playoff ready, Drew, if they continue to start like this. Are they going to start like this against the Seahawks? Can they afford to start like this against a high-powered offensive team in the Saints? No, you can't. You can't do that and expect to win in the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's but then they come out in the second half and it's night and day. So Brady, 390 yards total, 2 TDs. Most of that was in the second half. You know what I'm saying? Great.
He had to.
He had to. Yeah.
He had to.
I mean, Arians, and I'll give the boys credit. They made great adjustments, which I can appreciate. But you just want to come out a little faster. Honestly, we got to talk about it. Our man, Antoine Winfield Jr., in my opinion, had to play of the game with the touchdown save on Ridley. To be honest, and he came out. If you didn't see the play, look at the hand placement to knock that ball away. Finally, Antonio Brown getting involved, I think that bodes well going forward, Drew. And okay, how dangerous can you be if you put it all together? Is what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I mean, you keep having groups do the right things. You know what I mean? You're not having the whole team come together yet. Yeah. You know, it's Brady and Brown one week, and then it's Evans and Gronk one week, and then it's which running back are you going to get? I don't know.
And that's the crazy thing is, and we just can't put it all together, Drew. It seems like, and not to be, but Devin, we got to shout out a couple people in the game, but Mike Evans, 110 yards. Devin White had 3 sacks, 8 sacks on the year, Drew, didn't get to the Pro Bowl. 8 sacks from a linebacker position, a true.
Hey, we're not even talking about the Pro Bowl.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Right. Exactly. So it's a farce, in our opinion. But
I don't know how you put Chase Young in there and you don't put Jeremy Chin.
Jeremy Chin should have made it. I think he should have made it.
Brian Burns should have made it.
A lot of people should have made it, man. But it's just kind of crazy how they still can't put it all together. There was no pressure from the front four, Drew. There was no pressure from the front four. That's why Devin White had to get all those sacks. And I appreciate what Tom Brady did. The boys got it together. They pulled out a win. So that's where I'm at with it. I'm happy, but I'm not happy. And we only need one win to just clinch and get in the playoffs.
There you go. Well, I was happy to get your opinion on the game because stay tuned. We got another Bucks fan's opinion. I thought it'd be nice. My Christmas present to you. We got a fellow Bucks fan to do your team's updates this week.
I love it.
Stay tuned for that.
I love it. And you get to hear Bucks talking. It ain't me. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not me. How great? Right. How great is that? I appreciate that, man. I love it. Merry Christmas.
But yeah, kind of moving on to what I thought was the game of the week. I thoroughly enjoyed watching it. The Cardinals beating the Eagles.
Yeah. Great game.
Just back and forth, man. You could see the gears turning in the chess match that was Murray versus Hurts.
Yeah.
Which is just fun to watch, just fun to say, man. And the more and more you hear the reports of Wentz kind of being a jerk about all this, I'm just laughing because
just a quick
you lost your job, bro.
Yeah, you did. And a quick question to you, man, right before you get back into it. But is this kind of expected? What you would have expected from Carson Wentz reacting to the situation? I mean,
no, man. I don't know why. Because I'm the first to call douchebag.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm the first to be like, no, I like that guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I actually thought he was a decent person.
Yeah, I kind of he seems mad wholesome. So I mean, if this is how you react to a little bit of adversity, man, maybe you weren't the guy for the job in the first place. You know what I mean? Like that's all it is to me.
I mean, and it makes you think, was he like this? We just didn't get reports of it when Foles was playing and stuff.
True, that's very true. And it's clear that offense is just a different team with Jalen Hurts. Like, they're rallying around him. We talked about it last week, and you can't argue, Drew. It's Jalen Hurts' team right now, is it not? Like, do you think anybody's thinking about Carson Wentz?
No doubt. No. I mean, they're thinking about him in the bad way because he keeps running his mouth.
Probably so. Now, what I want to see, what I would want to see is Carson Wentz treat this situation exactly how he treated the Nick Foles situation. Come in with the right attitude. You're going to be on the roster, especially if you play your card. I mean, like, not
you ain't going
talk your way out of town because of the contract. Come in here, ball out in 2021, man. I mean, make it a competition. Is that not what life is about? You know what I'm saying? Like, come in. You're like, it's a little bit of adversity right now, and you being a little whiny bitch about it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, I was the starter. Yeah. You can't take that away from me.
Apparently not.
No.
Apparently not. It's yours. But Jalen Hurts had what? 338 yards, 3 TDs, Drew. 63 rush yards.
He made it look so nice.
He did. So nice. So, we have to mention this as well, like talking about the other Oklahoma quarterback though. But I wrote down small guy, big arm, big playability. Kyler Murray, 406 yards. I want to say 4 TDs.
Yeah, dude. He was slinging.
Yeah. Or 3. It was a 3 TDs.
I love that he's got like kind of like a baseball. Him and Mahomes, man. I love watching, just as a former baseball player and just fan. I love watching those guys. Just Brett Favre had it too.
Drew, is that is that how they have so much control when they do that sidearm? Is just like, is that baseball? You know what I'm saying?
I think so, man. Because it's just, to be honest with you, man, it probably damages your arm more in the long run to not have perfect mechanics. But if you've thrown a baseball, you know, if you go like you're supposed to, like goalpost, follow through, it doesn't feel as right as you just
slinging it, right? You know, it doesn't. And that, like, I've always had that problem because, like, mentally I always try to throw the correct way, but my arm doesn't feel that. You know what I'm saying? For whatever.
It probably just feels so much more natural for him.
It does.
You know?
So, but they're accurate. And obviously, Drew, if I can break my arm and have a rich broke arm when I'm 50, I'm doing that. Like, damn this arm. Like, let's get this money. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's get this money.
Yeah. My grandfather played minor league baseball. Like, never made it to the majors, never made money off of the game, and still had like a crooked arm in his 80s because he threw so many curveballs. But
I bet he enjoyed it.
You're gonna have it anyway. You're gonna be broken anyway. Nice to have a couple million in the bank on top of it.
All right. You know? Quick question, Drew. I wanted to ask you this. So, if D Hop, because as man childish as that dude is, right? If Hopkins still play for the Texans, how many more wins do the Texans have?
At least 3.
At least 3. That's exactly what I wrote, man. Yeah. At least 3.
Because how many times has just poor Deshaun just been like, I got nobody
having to do it himself. But that's what he brings to the table. You can see why they tried to pull the trade off to get him. I mean, I think he had 169 yards, something like that, like something crazy. But it was a wild game, man. Like Hurts, I wrote down. Hurts has this resolve. Being down 16-0. I think it was 16-0 at one point, bringing the team back, doing exactly what he needed to do. And like, that is what Jalen Hurts is, Drew. We talked about this, right? He brings that resolve. He brings the stability. He brings a poise and a calmness about him that is very franchise quarterback like. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're just seeing that coming to fruition. And I think that's maybe what's irking Carson Wentz a little bit. To be honest with you.
He's not.
He's just never rattled. Plenty of confidence. So,
yeah. Well, quick question for you, and then we'll move on. Right. Did Breeze come back too early?
Off the top of my head, yeah. He
didn't. They didn't have a spark. I didn't see like that offense. That offense looked very dull.
Not only that, but like maybe if this was like a regular time where you were able to get a lot more practice time in. You know what I'm saying? Like a normal amount of practice or whatever a normal practice is. But like, I think.
Yeah, what's normal?
Right, exactly. So like what's coupled with that and him still being hurt, I think, he came back too early because they definitely looked out of rhythm. And Michael Thomas is now done. Slant Boy's done for the playoffs.
Slant Boy.
Yeah, and it could be a little bit of that with him too. Maybe they want to rush him back and they shouldn't. You know, we have yet to see. But how'd you feel about it? How'd Laura feel about the game?
Calm, cool, and collected. Like, a fan of a one-loss team.
Wow.
Should be. Wow. You know what I mean? Like, she's focused on the playoffs, man. She's like, whatever. Yeah. She chuckles to herself when she sees the Steelers lose again, and then she goes about her business.
Yeah.
It's serial killer that got away with it-esque. You know what I mean? She's just like...
It's weird that you say that, because I was like, man, I would really like to be in a gunfight in the Wild West with her. You know what I'm saying? Like, just like, I'm cool. Like, we're good.
Dude, Cool Hand Luke over here.
We're good, yeah. Exactly. So it was...
the only time I truly ever saw her freak out was the roller coaster of a playoff run the Chiefs put her through last year.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the playoffs will do that to you, man, because this winter, it's... Yeah. And it was crazy. I was thinking about this while we were actually doing, production for the show or whatever last week. But like, Drew, when it's the playoffs times, does that 60 minutes not feel like 30 minutes? You know what I mean? Like, and your team's been to the playoffs relatively recently. You know what I'm saying? Like, it feels like it's here.
It goes by so fast.
And it's almost gone. Like, and that's what.
Except for the last 3 minutes of the game.
Hell yeah.
Then that takes 75
right.
minutes.
yeah, it does, man. And yeah, man, just a quick couple notes on this game, but we told y'all the Saints were going to take the L. Pat on my back. Cam Jordan is a dirty player. I don't know how many times I got to say it, man. Cam Jordan is a dirty player. Like, he is not the guy you think he is. Stop punching
people in the helmet.
He is not that guy. In recap. No, I'm kidding. Shout to Trey Hendrickson out of FAU, man. I really like that guy, even though he's a Saints player. He has steadily worked his way up that roster, Drew. I liked him. He had 2 sacks and a forced fumble. And that's the crazy thing. So the last little note on the for as consistent as this Saints team has been all season, it didn't matter. It did not matter. The Chiefs still found a way to beat you, and that is the scary part about the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Everybody should be having nightmares about them.
Very scary.
My team included, again. So,
yeah.
Drew.
Very scary.
That's what I got.
All right. Well, that's before we get out of here and move on from Week 15, I thought a fun way, a new segment we can do just to spice up the recap a little bit, so we're not just talking about they lost and they won.
Right.
We're going to do a new segment called 3 and Out. We're going to do 4 games, just real quick little how you feel about it and move on, and then end on a team that just should be out for whatever reason.
And there's a couple.
You want to hit up?
Yeah. All right, so here we go.
Every week I feel like.
Drew, Browns fans take care of business now. An 88% chance to make it to the playoffs. Browns fans, rejoice. You did it. Drew, along the season, did you think it would happen? Yes or no?
No. Nah. I think they did themselves a huge favor, unfortunately, by OBJ getting hurt.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? We haven't heard about. I think he could have. What confidence we're seeing with Baker, I think, unfortunately, he could have killed. So I think we're seeing a carefree Baker, and it's translating to wins for the Browns.
I love it. I dig it. You up, bro?
On the Dallas front, Elliott doesn't play due to an apparent calf injury. Are we concerned?
A little bit. Yeah, definitely a little bit, man, because Tony Pollard looked silky out there, Drew. He looked like he
2 touchdowns.
is a man to be reckoned with. So I don't know how they're gonna approach that situation, but maybe they need to do it delicately so they don't hurt Zeke's calf, apparently. Yeah. So I like this. I like this right here. So check this out. Bills become big brother as they win the AFC East. MIA, Miami, becomes the middle child as they kick the Patriots out of playoff contention. Drew, did you think it would happen?
They're the kids' table.
Did you think it would happen? Yes or no?
No, man. You put Belichick and Cam Newton at the start of the season together, you think great things are going to happen. Unfortunately, they just felt off kilter all week. Or all season, you know what I mean? They'd have a great game, i.e. the 45-0 win over the Chargers, and then they'd lose to the Dolphins and only score 12 points. So I think a lot of questions heading into the offseason for the New England Patriots.
And we talked about this at some point this season, but they're going to have to hit on their draft picks, and they they've had a lot go wrong because they've also had a lot of people opt out this year. Remember that. So like I wonder what they're going to look like coming into next season for sure.
Nice.
Yep.
Well, I'm out on this one. Bengals? Are the Steelers gonna figure it out?
Oh man, I think so, Drew. I think so. They've got some time. They got 2 weeks, right? They got 2 weeks to really, because they're in the playoffs. Like, they're in the playoffs at this point. So honestly, if you need to throw it at the wall right now and build it back up, I think Mike Tomlin's a guy who can do that. And they have the what's going on? They lost 3 straight, Drew. Do they not have the pieces? Like, when you look at their roster, do they not have the pieces to get this thing figured out? Like,
yeah,
I
feel like they lose their star running back every year, but someone else picks up the slack.
Yeah.
Like the Connor injury shouldn't affect him. It hasn't in previous years.
No.
You know what I mean? But no one's got that next up mentality, I feel like.
Well, and Benny Snell had a good game. And that's why I think Tomlin was like, well, maybe if Connor is healthy, we might get him in there. But I can understand if they want, because he was the only spark that the Steelers had yesterday, because Ben was missing wide open passes. I mean, everybody was messing up. Juju dancing TikToks, getting the snot knocked out of him. That I did not know about his TikTokness. I knew he was on TikTok, but I didn't know about that before, that he was dancing on logos or anything like that. So
Tomlin's going to talk to him.
Apparently.
that'll probably come to an end.
Yeah. I don't expect to see that anymore, but good for him, man. I'm glad Von Bell knocked the snot out his ass for doing that.
Yeah. Well, let's move on to housekeeping. Housekeeping notes this week. We talked about him not being that great of a person. Reports are Wentz not interested in being Hurts' backup. So he might be on a different team next year if anyone's willing to take that contract. Or he might just need to shut up and be on the bench.
Both situations okay, I guess.
Bills clinched the AFC East. Good for them. Panthers finally fired GM Marty Herney.
I hear a little rejoice in your voice, Drew. Speak on that real quick, man. Speak on that real quick. How you feel about it?
I mean, he just didn't ever do enough, man. All those years we screamed for a line for Cam Newton. He didn't get it for us. All those years we asked for, just anything, instead of just running the ball 3 times and then throwing a screen pass when it's 3rd and 15. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, coordinators came and went, coaches came and went, and he got rehired. We fired him already. He's back.
Yeah. You want to hear something crazy, man? But like, and I've heard you talk on this for years. You know what I'm saying? Behind the scenes. But I agree with you, because it seems like he was a person who, talking about the Bucs earlier, recall that we never put it all together. He was a person that never put it all together. He got the quarterback, didn't have the offensive line. He had good receivers, never complimented those receivers with more receivers or the right receivers. Luke Kuechly was there. The defense, it was pretty good, but I can't say that it was more so him than it is Ron Rivera, because look at what Ron Rivera's doing in Washington. I just don't know, man. So he had to go, and that's what happened. So
he had to go. He should have been out last year, but whatever. Chiefs running back Edwards-Helaire has that dreadful high ankle sprain, so who knows when he's coming back. Yeah.
Well, the Le'Veon Bell signing was good,
Right. That's looking huge right now. Sources close to Big Ben say he's going to play in 2021. We'll see if the Steelers agree with that. Lions fire special teams coach Braden Combs. Patriots cornerback Stephon Gilmore, partially torn quad, had surgery on Tuesday. So he should, if things are on schedule, he should be ready to go next year. And last but not least, just to talk about it real quick, Washington football team quarterback Dwayne Haskins spotted maskless in a strip club. I think he ratted himself out too. I think it was his own social media. So what an idiot!
What an idiot, man! That's like, and
I saw online someone's like, he didn't even deserve to go to the strip club.
Oh man, yeah, that's true. Cause he like I just saw like a still shot of it, and it looked like he was like having a good time or whatever like that. But like you got to be more cognizant of what you're doing. Like that's not franchise quarterback shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I mean, now don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that these guys are choir boys, but if you going to do stuff like that, if you going to do dirt. Don't get caught, man. Like, I mean, that's pretty much what happens in society all the time. Exactly. Don't rat yourself out, even if you're trying to get in a different situation. But like, Drew, is it crazy? Like, do these young cats, are they just scared of competition? Like, is that what I'm sensing here?
I don't know.
Oh God, am I being that guy right now? Am I being like get off my lawn? Is that happening? Is that happening?
Nah, you're becoming the I'm breaking my kids' participation trophy. If they're not first, they're last.
Oh man, I don't know what just happened. We just went through a whole time warp.
What we need?
Yeah. No, nah. That's funny. Yeah. That's funny, man. But yeah, I don't know. Nice. I don't know.
Well, I got a new segment I wanted to debut this week, man, called Fire Uniforms. Just because I was just watching football this Sunday, and I was excited because there was some spiffy looking gentlemen on the field.
It was definitely some fresh unis out there, man. I love it, and we talked about this before, but I wish that they just had the ability to switch the helmets, pants, just do whatever. Like they should basically take a tally of the team, and whatever the team as a majority wants to wear, they should just wear that. You know what I mean? Because it's probably gonna be swag anyway. Yeah. It's gonna be drip. So I don't know, man. I don't know.
I'm one of the only people that loves the color rush. So
me too.
This segment is very color rush heavy. Yeah. So
yeah. I love the color rush uniforms. And even like to be honest, like even the all icy whites for pretty much all the teams are fire. You know what I mean?
Oh, dude, I love the white on white with a different color helmet.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So
that's the only uniforms of the Falcons I like this year. The white on white with a black helmet.
I like the black joints. I don't like the FUBU jerseys. I don't like them joints. Them joints, that's
the adult softball team.
Yeah, I don't like.
You don't like the fade.
Nah, they spent the rest of the money on the other two uniforms and was just like, you know what, just go down the street and just hook something up real quick and we be straight.
Like, hey man, I heard your cousin Frank sells uniforms. You got anything that we could wear?
Yeah.
It was bad, man. You remember getting the old East Bay?
That was
catalogs back in the day.
That was the joint, man. Like, cause all the dudes in the class, like if one person had an East Bay, there was gonna be a huddle at some point in the class.
It's getting passed around. But hey, let me hold it. I'll get it back to you next period.
Can you imagine passing a magazine?
Yeah. I would always turn to the
I'd
always turn to the team section and be like, if I just order 300 of these, they'll be $13.
Actually, that's not a bad. You probably could have had everybody in the whole school with the same shoe, but they'll be J's though. You know what I'm saying? Like,
man, I was so bummed. My 8th grade year, the basketball team, we were all supposed to get the Allen Iversons. I can't remember which one was
probably
out.
The question. I think it was the answers. The question ones, yeah.
Or the questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, our colors were royal blue and white, and we were gonna get the blue tipped.
Yeah.
Oh man, and it fell through last minute, and I was devastated.
Damn.
Because we were getting them for like $80.
Oh, that's
just
perfect.
With the group deal.
That was perfect. Wasn't meant to be, man. I had them joints in
broke my heart.
A couple different colors. know, AI was my man, but for sure.
Yeah. Well, getting back to these fire unis, honorable mention this week. Mm-hmm. The Colts blue on blue. That looked nice. The white helmet, the blue jersey, the blue pants. Yeah. It was crisp.
I dug it, man, and it helps that they won.
Yeah, right. Also, I think a lot of teams go black on black a lot, but I don't think navy on navy gets what it deserves. The Titans looked good in their navy on navy.
Yeah, they did, man. They really did. And again, like it always helps when you win. Weirdly enough, Drew, like talking about the unis, man, the Titans themselves over at one of their blog sites, or actually a site that is ran by the team, they have the unis that they wear every week and then how they did, like whether they won in these unis or lost, and they have the scores there.
Keeping tally.
Right, so they keep tally. So they're like, we lost, you know what I'm saying? Like, which that's dedication. Like, that's how you know there is something to this uni thing and we're not just making this shit up. Like, I don't know.
Right.
But yeah, continue.
Well, I hope that's I hope the winning, it isn't all about winning, because my winner this week with the Fire Uni of the week, they lost though, so we'll see if they bring it back. Was that Washington football team, man? The maroon on maroon on maroon. Yeah. It was sick.
It was.
I like it.
It was, man. It was, and I like it because like there's few other places where that color works so well. You know what I'm saying? Like, and when you just see it, when you see it on the Washington football team, it's very distinct.
It works.
It works. It just works. And they did the thing. Don't go to strip clubs in them, though.
Well, enough from us for a second. Let's kick it to your team's update. I told you I had a Bucks fan for you this week.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I wanted to kick it to a good buddy of mine, Mr. Matt White. He's a Raleigh comic, and I was surprised to learn he was a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan. So this is how Matt White feels about the Bucks.
Go Pirates.
It wasn't pretty. It was not pretty, but the Buccaneers pulled off another win this past week, this past Sunday. But that NFC South is crazy. We are very competitive with each other, but the Bucs pulled it off. But it was not pretty. It looked like they needed to get oiled, almost like they weren't oiled. It was kind of rusty at the beginning of the game, but it looked like they needed to get oiled. But they pulled it off. Good thing we had somebody that's used to coming back and beating the Falcons. Ooh, shots fired. All right. Good to see AB getting the end zone. Finally, he's getting the end zone since he's been back. So that was good to see him being more used in the offense. That was dope. Let's see. With no Rojo, I think that was the tell of the tape. That's why it took him so long to get started. Fournette was not used to being in and starting like that. He used to coming in, but Rojo, I think, to me personally, is one of the most key parts of that offense, especially when it comes down to Tom Brady. Tom Brady has to have a connection with some type of running back. But Mike Evans is always that dude, so I just want to put that out there. Other than that, man, we just gotta keep pounding away, man. Keep pounding away. Go Bucks. Let's see if we can get. Let's see where we can go in the playoffs. This is Matt White, and I'm out.
All right. Well, as a fellow brother in arms with Tampa Bay, how do you feel about that assessment?
Yeah, man. First, gotta speak on it. Shout to you, Matt White, man. Make sure to follow him. He said everything that I was thinking, and he made a very, very good point about Rojo. I don't think it can be understated, and maybe I underestimated how integral Rojo is to making sure that offense has any type of continuity, even though they've been kind of discombobulated, like you were saying, like I was saying, it just wasn't gelling. Hopefully Antonio Brown getting more involved in the offense, getting more comfortable will help. And then I gotta say, Drew, shout to Josh Wells taking over for Donovan Smith, since Donovan Smith was out on the COVID protocol. That's the starting left tackle who has not missed a game, from what I understand.
That's tough to jump into.
Yeah.
Left tackle,
and he did the thing, man. He did the thing. So, I'm just glad we got the win, man, because this Bucks fan base needs the playoffs, man. It's been too long. It's been too long, bro. It's been too long, man.
Well, Sean, get your slow jams out, light them candles.
Hey,
draw the curtains.
Okay.
It's time to find out who we crushing on this week.
Oh yeah,
it's Man Crush Sundays.
Hey, get that Barry White voice on you.
All right, well, let's go ahead and get it out of the way. What defense you got this week?
Okay, yeah, nice to get the defense out the way. Drew, I hate to beat a man while he's down, but it is the Washington football team against your Carolina Panthers this week. I think that defense is
that defense is scary,
right, man. But for them, it is winning time, Drew. It's winning time because they have to get to where they want to go, and they got to win. So I expect the defense to come out and be fiery, and get that shit going. So. That's who I got. Who you got?
Okay, I got the Baltimore Ravens against the Giants.
Oh, okay.
I don't think Colt gets it done. We don't know what kind of version of Daniel Jones we're gonna see. They put up so many points against Jacksonville.
Yeah.
And that QB situation scares me.
Yeah.
So I think the Ravens Everyone counted them out a few weeks ago, man, and they are kicking it into gear at the right time.
They really
this could
are.
be a very dangerous football team
They
going
really
forward.
are. Yeah. So I like talking about, the Ravens and kind of hitting all cylinders. It looks like that passing game is going. Let's kick it into wide receivers. And
Okay.
Drew, I can't talk about this man enough. My chocolate drop, Mr. Corey Davis versus the Packers,
Okay.
I think.
Choo-choo, jumping on the Corey Davis
man,
train.
Yeah,
All
man.
right,
I've been
I like
wanting to do it for a while. He just haven't been doing it. So I think because that game, they're going to need to pass the ball against Aaron Rodgers, right? Like to keep up. That's what that offense is. They're very balanced. Aaron Rodgers could kill you. They're going to need to keep up. I expect Corey Davis to get a lot of volume either way.
Aaron Rodgers will kill you.
Basically. Basically. Yeah, who you got, bro?
I'm going Calvin Ridley. Because I think it's also going to be the Falcons and KC. A lot of passes. I think the Falcons are going to be playing from behind.
Yeah.
And by no way, shape, or form have they shown to be a team that's get thrown in the hat. So I think they're going to do what they can to try to win this game. They're not going to, but I think they're going to come out guns a-blazing because their coach is trying to get a job.
Yeah.
Who knows where Matt Ryan's going to be next year? Who knows where Julio Jones is going to be next year? So I think it's going to be interesting. I think Calvin Ridley is their number one receiver right now.
Yeah. He torched the Bucs' ass. I mean, like it was they didn't have anybody else, and he still got off, man. Like he got everything he wanted.
Yeah.
And shout to Antoine Winfield Jr. for making that play because he had another touchdown. So Sean Murphy Bunting, step it up. You suck.
Yeah, I know he's your favorite.
Going to the TE position, man. Who you got for your tight end?
I'm going Logan Thomas for Washington against my Panthers. He had 101 yards against the Seahawks.
Yes, sir.
And that, unfortunately, is a much better defense than what we got going on right now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know who's going to be throwing him the ball, but I think he's going to catch it.
If I am not mistaken, that was my man crush for last week, and Bobby Wagner, step your game up. How did you make the Pro Bowl, sir? I have no idea, especially with a game like that. Either way, my tight end is Mark Andrews versus the New York Giants. Look,
that's my guy, man. I love
Mark Andrews too, bro. But the logic behind the pick is simple. Tight end's the quarterback's best friend, Drew, and I expect the Giants to put a little bit of pressure on Lamar Jackson, more so than he may have seen in a couple weeks, whatever it may be. But that defensive line is stout, and they might be a problem. So Mark Andrews is an easy outlet pass. I think Mark Andrews gets a lot of volume, goes off this week. So where we going next, my guy?
Well, who you think's going to run the ball this week?
Talking about having opportunity, man, I got to go with Darrell Henderson. He didn't do anything.
Ooh, okay.
He did not do anything last week versus that Jets defense. But
surprise, Cam Akers
is out. Cam Akers is out. So I expect him to be in there, and hopefully they can get back on track, man. Who you got?
I got David Montgomery.
Woo!
For Chicago Bears.
That boy
going against Jacksonville this week. Why not?
Yeah.
He had 146 yards against the Vikings. 113 against the Texans.
Yes, sir.
Keep running, bro.
Keep running. And also, we got to do this. We gonna pat myself on the back. We gonna pat Drew on the back. Our step up candidates at points this season. What were they not, Drew? Was it not the Bills running backs at some point, and was it not the Chicago Bears running backs at this point? And both are coming into their own. Been doing the thing the last couple of weeks. We gonna pat.
Those were my two running backs last year.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So they are
Montgomery and Singletary.
We gonna count our W's on this show. You know what I'm saying?
We're not in fantasy
right?
football.
Yeah, not in that. Yeah, not in that. We're not gonna do that.
I mean, hey, but I won my semifinal in the consolation bracket, so your boy ain't playing for last place.
Yeah.
Somebody else is though.
Yeah.
You got to make sure you don't win the Sacco, bro.
Quarterback. Who you got? Who you got for your quarterback, man?
I'm going on Baker Mayfield, man. This is hopefully a layup. We'll see, but against the Jets.
Okay.
So
all right, I like that. I mean, hopefully Jets don't start going off, man. But for my quarterback, I think it's maybe the very first time I've done this season, but got to tip my hat to the king, man. It's Patrick Mahomes versus the Falcons. I think he's going to do anything and everything he wants. Versus them.
No look passes, left-handed passes.
And my main logic behind that is actually based on the Bucs game. But if Brady threw for 300 yards in one half, what in the hell is Patrick Mahomes going to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, what?
He'll be sitting by the second quarter.
Exactly.
All right, well, that's our crushes. Tell me what matchup you looking forward to this week?
Yeah, I love that. Talking about the matchups, but we have not addressed it much in this episode, but it is the Rams versus the Seahawks for this week's matchup. And
you mean the Rams that just lost to the Jets?
Rams that just lost to the Jets, man. I mean, just a quick note before we get into it, but how did the Jets get their first W of the season and still manage to take a L in the process, Drew? How the hell does that happen? You know what I'm saying?
Lost out.
I
wouldn't be as excited. I'm not as excited about Justin Fields or any of these other first-round quarterbacks as I am about Trevor Lawrence. Like, it's not a 1A, 1B kind of thing. It's a 1.
It's a 1 and then,
and then 2.
Yeah. Now, as far as what I'm going to say is, like, I'm just a guy who's like, as far as this process right now, that's how it is, right? But we don't know how it's going to play out. But as it looks on paper, that's what it is.
I mean, isn't there always a quarterback that pops up out of nowhere?
Every single year.
Where you're like, oh, okay.
Yep. And nobody knew.
That year the Panthers drafted Cam. He was not even on my radar until like 2 weeks before the draft.
Really?
And then all of a sudden people were like, you're getting Cam. And I was like, who?
Yeah, he was doing the thing all season. But back to this game, though. I mean, we got to talk about it. Cam Akers out. So the running backs are going to need to step up. Drew, the Rams are still the number one overall defense in yards allowed. I don't, even with this past game withstanding, the Seahawks are third overall in rush defense, though. Still the number 32 pass defense, but they've been a little bit better as far as that goes.
Goff's 32? Goff's number 32?
No. Well, no, the Seahawks defense is 32 overall. Seahawks defense and pass defense.
Okay.
Yeah. Seahawks.
Ouch.
Right. Yeah.
That's even worse.
Exactly. So, like, 32 ranked pass defense. You just gave up 101 yards. There's personal vendetta of mine right here. Sorry to get it to it, but 101 yards you just gave up to Logan Thomas. But Bobby Wagner is washed, my guy. Like, how did he make the Pro Bowl over Devin White and Levante David? I'm gonna stand for my dudes right now. Like, the Pro Bowl this year, and I mean, we'll talk about that. Follow us on IG. Follow us on Twitter for that kind of talk, man. But we're gonna get back to it. The Seahawks are at home. They're favored by 2.5. So that's pretty much a wash to me. The Rams are 3-2 coming in, Drew, and the Seahawks are 4-1. But this is also the weakest part of their schedule that they've played. You know what I'm saying? Like, they had a lot of cupcake teams and then wound up taking an L against the Giants. So who saw that coming? So
I still can't believe
that.
Right.
Right. Now, like, and to be honest, man, the Seahawks probably lose if Dwayne Haskins is a better quarterback, to be honest with you. Like,
I mean, it wasn't like they overwhelmed Washington.
Not at all. And
had plenty of chances to win that game.
Exactly. And the rushing was the passing was you know what I'm saying? Like, they didn't really do much. And I already mentioned Logan Thomas going off or going all over the middle of the field doing whatever he wanted to do. I will say that the way the game played out, though, Russ didn't need to do much. He didn't need to do much. So, like, how much did he have? He had 121 pass yards, and he did 52 rush yards on the ground. So, when he needed to scramble, he did. The wide receivers, like I just mentioned, didn't do much. But coming into this game, I expect both teams to be better this week, especially the Rams coming off that L. I expect both teams to be better. I just don't know if the Rams defense can hold the skill set of Russell Wilson down for 4 quarters. Even though they have that top defense, I don't know that you can do that for 4 quarters. And if I'm looking at both teams, since they're both stout in rush defense, that might make both teams one-dimensional. It has a chance to be one-dimensional where they both need to pass the ball. If that is the question, I'm going to take Russell Wilson making a play over Jared Goff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that even though the Seahawks have a very low-ranked pass defense, I think they could make a play. you know what I'm saying? At some point in the game, like, you have to make a play. I think they can make a play. They had a couple of picks on Haskins. It's Haskins, so whatever. But you know what I'm saying? Right. But I think that they can make a play, and I trust Russell Wilson over Jared Goff. So if that's the case with the Seahawks at home, I think I'm going to take the Seahawks in this game, Drew. I think I'm going to take the Seahawks, man. So that's my matchup for this week, man.
All right, you think two straight losses for the Rams?
I think so, man. I think so, because although I do expect the game plan to be a little bit better for the Rams, I just don't. I think the Seahawks will bounce back in terms of the way that they play. So that's my take on it, but it could go either way. I just think if that happens, that's the way it's going to go.
Okay. I like that matchup. I think it's going to be fun.
Should be.
My matchup this week, even though I got an eye on Minnesota at New Orleans, because that's always fun. Hope some pass it. I just keep the tradition going. You know, let the game in on a pass interference call against the Saints. Let the Vikings win.
Yeah.
But my matchup this week is the Tennessee Titans at the Green Bay Packers, because I think this is going to be offense.
Yeah.
And what's more fun than that, man?
Yeah.
Packers, fourth in the NFL for total yards a game at 390 a game. Tennessee's got the number 2 yards per game rushing attack, of course, with Derrick Henry basically being that guy. Right. Tannehill looks like he's having fun. I think, you talk about Mr. Davis coming alive. A.J. Brown's always a threat on the other side. Right. I think, man, I'm hoping this is like a 49-45 kind of game. You know what I mean? Like,
that would be awesome. And I think is it the Sunday night game or is it the Monday game? It's a primetime game, though.
I think it's a Sunday night game.
Yeah, it's a primetime game.
I think it's Sunday night.
It's going to be fun, man. And, like, honestly, like, Tannehill looks like a kid in a candy store, man. I love your point about him having fun. Cause
did you see him do the jump man?
Yeah, it's like
he did the Jordan jump man.
It might be he might have to take the ump off of it. It might be a J man because he ain't. I mean, it looks a little off. You know what I'm saying? But like he getting up there. I know what you talk about though. You know what I mean?
But I think it's going to come down to, can Green Bay stop Tennessee's rushing attack? Probably not. And can the Titans stop Aaron Rodgers and the passing attack? Probably not. So,
yeah.
I think it's going to be fun, man.
Yeah, and that's kind of my point about, like, you know, Corey Davis being my man crush, man. Is like Tannehill's going to have to pass it, or maybe they don't. I mean, Green Bay has been suspect at times, and we talked about it in pre-production, man. Like, I had to stay away from this game because I just don't know how it's going to go.
Oh,
man.
Yeah, I wasn't even going to touch it.
No, hell no.
I wasn't going to try to pick a winner.
Hell no. I just,
either quarterback can come out and lay a big old stink.
Yep. And then it could be the complete opposite. But what we hope for, obviously, like you said earlier, is just like a hell of a game, 49-45, whatever it's going to be, come down to the last minute. Let's just, you know, another call back to earlier, but let's just say that the in-laws won't be as happy this week. It might be a little stressful for you, Titans fans.
A little more stressful.
Might be a little bit more stressful for you. That's all I'm saying. So
that's hilarious. So they're Titans fans.
Right.
And they live in Texas. And I'm a Panther fan that lives in Nashville.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's Sean, we got to talk about these locks.
Let's do it.
We got to talk about these locks, bro.
Let's do it.
My overall record going into this week is 21-9. I went 2 for 2 last week with the Bears winning and the Pats losing.
Okay.
You promised these folks that the Steelers were going to get a win. That didn't quite come to fruition.
Why did they?
But your Saints did lose
to
the Chiefs. So you're sitting at 19-11.
Ugh.
Going into this
Come
week.
on, man. I need to go 2-0 to catch you, and you need to go 0-2. God damn. All right, man. I'm gonna start picking some serious ducks out here. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, you can't.
I know
you can't. What was the Ducks last week? Rams over Jets, Steelers over Bengals. You know,
and even that doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? You try to do what you can, man, but the NFL can shock you, bro.
It's scary.
It is.
It's scary,
and
man.
then, like, you just...
Who you got losing this week?
Who I got losing, man?
Because I picked a duck for my loss, but I went risky with my winner.
To be honest, like, I don't know. Maybe I have. I have done this a couple of times this season, so I can't say that. But I'm a little nervous about it this week. But my loss is the Detroit Lions versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think that maybe coming alive in the second half. They do not want another slow start. This is the week that they get that off their back. They come out, fire on all cylinders. We had a great game against Detroit last year. Make it 2 in a row, baby. Let's go. The Lions lost. Right. Who you got?
I'm going Giants lose to the Ravens.
I looked at it. Too rich for my blood on this one. I don't know. Something about this one.
It could definitely go either way. Yes. But I think the Giants. I mean, it wouldn't be the NFC East if all of these teams kept losing. So you know what I mean.
I think it's gonna be a good game. Man.
We'll see who.
I think it's gonna be a good game.
Squeaks in.
Yeah. So winner, Drew. Let's snake it. Let's snake it. Who you got for your winner, man?
All right. I think they're going to figure it out, man. I got Steelers beating the Colts this week.
Oh, that's a tall task. Yeah. You out here. Yeah. I mean.
I went for it, man.
You did.
Doesn't this seem like a trap game? Like, because you know, everything says pick the Colts over the Steelers with the way these teams are going. True. But isn't that what 2020 wants you to believe? I'm going conspiracy theory on this one. I'm like, Steelers are going to beat the Colts.
I can see it, man. If you call this one, you might just this might be worth 2. I'm not going to give you that, but it might be worth 2 if you actually get it right. But my winner, Drew, I had a hard time picking this game, and this is what I'm going to say is that Derek Carr is going to be out. And I don't know, but something is a little saucy about that Raiders offense when Mariota's in there. I don't know. Maybe I got the rose-colored goggles on, but I'm going with the Raiders over the Miami Dolphins this weekend, baby. Ooh. I'm going with the Raiders. I think that they... Okay. They look good. They look good. I know they lost. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know they lost.
Okay.
But Mariota
That is very interesting.
I think that Gruden is going to put a game plan together because, you know, like there was, you know, calling back to the rift that never was in Oakland.
Rift that never
right, in Las Vegas. You know what I'm saying? So I think that Gruden likes Mariota as a quarterback. I know Gruden as a coach. I don't know.
That you do.
I don't know.
That you do.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Is he going to break your heart again, though? That's the question.
The losing 4 straight to get fired, I don't think you can break my heart to any more than that. So, no, I don't.
What is he, 2 years into a 10-year contract right now?
So long. It's so long, that contract. Yeah. He can do whatever he wants.
But we all know contracts don't mean anything when you're a coach.
True. They'll just pay him.
Yeah.
What is it to a billionaire?
Well, send us out with our last segment of the week, man. Who needs to step it up?
After last night, could have changed it up, but I did not because it is more important for this team than it is for the Steelers. It is your Los Angeles Rams, Drew. What in the hell was that? What was that? I don't know.
Lost to the Jets.
And that Jets D-line, like, I don't know what was happening. It looked like a sign of a clear team who was overlooking their opponent and looking forward to the Seahawks matchup because the game plan was all over the place. Drew, if you would have seen this coming, tell me you would have not thought that if you did not watch the game that it would have been Jared Goff that was the problem.
Oh, of course.
Right.
I would have been like, how many picks did he throw?
Right, exactly. And I think he threw 1, but, like, he wasn't the problem. He didn't play bad. It just wasn't a good game plan. It just looked off.
But he played like Jared Goff.
True, he did. He was sacked a couple of times. The defense didn't look like they knew what they were getting ready for. And I don't, like, obviously with the talent they have on that team, I think it was game plan, man. Like, Brandon Staley needs to come up with something a little bit better than that because he was looking down the road. I think they can get right and at least, I'm not saying they're going to win, but, like, obviously. But I
at least want to see a better game.
They got to step up because if they continue to lose, they can win the division. You know what I'm saying? Like, the division is there. If you play better and you lose to the Jets, like, that's not a good look, man. At this part in the season.
It's going to be interesting because I feel like the Seahawks and the Rams are both kind of limping into this game. So it's kind of see who's going to springboard off the other to try to
because somebody's getting the win. Exactly, you're right because somebody's getting the win. So
because I mean a big win right here could go a long way with some momentum.
Not only that, but not only is it a win, Drew, but it's a win over a division opponent who is also a good team. You know what I mean? And then like I looked at the schedule a little bit for this NFC West, and it's a round robin, my guy. Like these last couple of weeks, they're all playing each other. You know what I'm saying? So that's why the division's still up for grabs. They got to step.
That's why it's so hard to get multiple teams in. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's so hard.
Yep. But that's.
Do you think the Rams and the Cardinals hang on?
Rams, yes. Rams are getting in. Cardinals, I don't know, man. I don't know. They
who right now, if you had to put
other,
money down on it, who's number 7? Who's number 7 in the NFC?
Ooh, Drew, come on, bruh. Oh man. If I had to put my money on it, so it is the Bears, the Cardinals in the hunt, and I don't think Minnesota's going to do it. I'd have to look at their schedule, but
Mitchell squeaks
the way
it
my
by?
heart feel right now, Drew, I don't know, man. These Bears, I'd have to look at the last 2 games, but being that the Cardinals have to face division opponents, give me the Bears, man. I'm gonna take the Bears.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take the Bears. Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yep. So that's who I got, man.
That's who I'm going with. I think the Bears. I think the Bears squeak it in.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, and they could be dangerous.
They play Jacksonville this week,
right?
You know what I mean? So that's a win.
Dub. Or at least it should. But if Jackson,
I mean, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Now that that Jacksonville has the number 1 pick, I don't think they want to give it up. So they might be tanking this week, man.
They might tank.
They might be tanking.
Tank.
Yeah. Yeah, it might be tanking.
Can you put Minshew and Glennon in at the same time?
Yeah.
Let them fight over it. I don't care.
I like it.
Oh, man. Where can they find you?
Man. At the Kid Suds on Twitter, at the Kid_Suds, at nickel_Dom FB on Twitter, all on Twitter. Find us on IG, Drew. You got that IG content. We all do. At nickel_Dom Football, man. Where can they find you in your content, bro?
Nice. Hit me up on Instagram at Laugh with Harrison. Hit that subscribe button on our YouTube page if you don't mind.
Yes, sir.
And check out DrewHarrisonComedy.com for all past content and other stuff.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I think that's it from us, man. Happy holidays to you, bro.
Happy holidays, man. Merry Christmas.
Yes, sir.
Happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah.
Kwanzaa.
All of them. Whatever it means to you,
we
man.
We appreciate y'all. Keep watching.
Peace. Like, subscribe.
We'll see y'all next week.
We'll do it.